Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.
Welcome inside Holy Redeemer High School. We're in Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County. Tonight, first place is on the line in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference as Nanticoke battles Holy Redeemer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to a second game of 7 here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me tonight, he's an assistant coach at Dunmore High School, one-time referee Billy Jones. And Billy, as we look at the standings now in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference, we see these two teams right at the top.
A lot of the experts in the preseason picked these two, Holy Redeemer and Nanticoke, to finish 1-2. Both clubs undefeated in league play, first place on the line tonight.
Let's talk about the Trojans first. They've won 5 straight. They kind of turns things around after a slow start this season, and they're led by our Toyota Spotlight player, Jaden Johnson.
Jaden Johnson, an all-Wyoming Valley Conference performer last year, proved it last time out in the Trojans' 61-55 win over Wyoming area. He netted 28 points in the W.
Let's talk about the Royals. They regrouped, and they look pretty good this year. They've won 6 straight games. They have a new guy leading the team. That's our other Toyota Spotlight player. It's Zach Perta.
Zach Perta leads the club in three-pointers made with 26. He's a pit bull defensively. Great on the ball and off the ball defender, and he's battle tested. He was a starter on that club last year that made it to the Final Four in the state in 3A.
I know you've seen these two teams on film. We talked to both coaches, and they gave us our keys to the game. So let's go with Nanticoke first.
Nanticoke, they first want to contain dribble penetration. Holy Redeemer has quick guards in Perta, Jacob Hunter, and Dale Wright. We want to keep them out of the lane. Nanticoke also wants to find the great shooters. We talked about Perta, Jacob Hunter, also 23 threes on the year. Don't want to lose those guys in transition. Holy Redeemer, they always want to play fast. When you play a fast tempo, however, you run the risk of turning the ball over. They want to value the ball according to Coach Paul Guido, and another one of Coach Guido's concerns, the glass. They want to make sure they keep Jaden Johnson and Ibn Jordan Thomas, two great athletes, off the glass tonight.
Well, we have a big crowd here tonight, and we are ready to go. First place is on the line in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. It's Nanticoke and Holy Redeemer next.
Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.
The national anthem is sung, the starters are announced, and we are ready for high school basketball. Let's check out the starters ourselves. First, for the Trojans, 10-5, coming in 5-0 in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division II. At guard, it'll be Turek and Paczynski. Liam Muller, he likes to shoot the outside threes. Thomas inside, along with the 6'4" Johnson. They're coached by Zach Pienka. For the Royals of Holy Redeemer, 12-2 and 5-0 coming in. Perta and Wright will be the guards, along with Jacob Hunter. He's a senior. And 2 more seniors, Lucy and Kazurski, round out your Bathfitter starters. Referees tonight, Joe DiMaggio, Joe Zielinski, and Todd Kabicka. Those are your referees from the Wyoming Valley Conference. Bob Ide, Billy Jones, here at Holy Redeemer High School in Wilkes-Barre, ready to get this one underway with Kazurski and Thomas jumping.
Little tip play there by the Trojans.
Height advantage goes to the Trojans, but the speed to Hunter and his crew. And Hunter's blocked.
Great transition defense by Nanticoke, getting back Jordan Thomas, blocking that shot by Hunter at the rim.
We should have an up and down, fast-paced game.
I don't think points will be at a premium tonight, Bob. Two teams that love to play up-tempo.
That was our spotlight player, Thomas, getting the first 2 for the Trojans. Looking to pull the upset here.
Nanticoke man-to-man to start.
Right inside of Lucy, pulls it back out. This is Daryl Wright, a senior. An all-senior lineup for Holy Redeemer. They made it to the state semifinals a year ago.
And Nanticoke, as stated in the open, wants to keep these quick guards of Holy Redeemer out of the lane.
Turnaround is good by Kazurski. His first 2, the 6'4" senior. He's listed at 6'4". I think he's a little bit shorter than that. Nice inside move by Ibn Jordan Thomas, 6'2" senior.
And that's what Jordan Thomas does the best. Not much of a shooter, but he is a slasher. You don't really want to crowd him on the perimeter. He can blow by you. Got a great, quick first step.
Nanticoke averaging 60 points per game. Excuse me, Holy Redeemer averaging 60 points per game. Nanticoke giving up 61 points per game. But they played better defense since being in the Division II and conference play. Lucy caught back out to Hunter. Hunter's been a great surprise as a senior. 6th man last year. He's really picked up where Justice Schultz almost left off. And have our first foul of the game.
Yeah, Schultz, over his 4-year career here, scored 1,500 points. Hunter doing an admirable job. He's averaging just under 16 a game this year, really filling that void in the backcourt.
There you see Zach Bianca, his 4th season with the Trojans. 39 and 45 overall.
Zach, a 2003 grad of Greater Nanticoke area.
Playing tough defense. Back to an open Perda. Misses that shot. And here come the Trojans up by 2. They averaged 58 points per game. Mullery was hitting those in pregame. Of course, when it's game time, it's a little bit different.
Mullery, their best three-point shooter. If he can hit a couple shots early, I think that can get wind in his sails, and he can get some momentum on his side shooting-wise.
Darrell Wright called for a double dribble. So Nanticoke's coming off a win over Wyoming Seminary. Excuse me, over Wyoming area, 61-55 in overtime. They beat Lake Lehman, Hanover, and MMI. Their last loss was to Minor area. Bit of a surprise, 67-48, but they have won 5 straight. Paczynski, the lefty, no good. That's Mullery who pulls it out. Another possession for the Trojans.
And Coach Guido, again, concerned with the rebounding ability of Nanticoke. Second chance opportunity there as Jordan Thomas will go to the line for 2.
So the foul will be on Lucy for Holy Redeemer. His first. And this is Thomas, averaging 8.2 points per game. Just a 38% foul shooter, and in fact, Nanticoke not very good at the line, Billy, at all this year, 58%. That's it.
And I believe in their win over Wyoming area on Saturday, they are 8 of 25 for the line. They can't afford to leave that amount of points at the free throw line tonight if they expect to get a road win here in Wilkes-Barre at Holy Redeemer.
We'll take 1 of 2 from Thomas, right? Kind of threw that one in. So the Royals down. They beat Sem the other night. Right back to the right. It goes off someone's foot, and it will go over to the Trojans. I think this is the start Nanticoke needs to get more confidence.
Yeah. You know, they've run some scripted plays. They've done a good job containing Holy Redeemer's three-point shooters. Yeah, I would say advantage Nanticoke as far as pace. The key is for them, they do not want to turn the ball over because that'll just ignite that Holy Redeemer fast break.
Jump ball over to the Royals. Would you believe the last win for the Trojans over the Royals was in 2016?
Wow, 7 years ago.
35. They beat them 2 in a row. They beat them in 2015 and 2016. That's the last time Nanticoke has beaten Holy Redeemer. Now, a couple years they weren't in the same division, so they didn't even play.
Gotcha. Okay, so a little bit of a trick statistic.
A little bit trick. Here comes the Trojans. Turek. Five-point lead for the Trojans.
And Zach Bianca could not have scripted a better start here. Redeemer, the defending champions in the division, and Nanticoke not flinching.
And we have a foul. We'll have our first timeout on the foul. A great start from the Trojans of Nanticoke. They have a 5-point lead here in Wilkes-Barre.
Your Allied Services marquee matchup. Nanticoke's Gavin Turok has a tough task tonight of guarding Jacob Hunter, who's leading the Holy Redeemer Royals in scoring this year at 15.5 points per game. Bob, we talked about Hunter last year. He was the 6th man on that Final Four club that made it to the state semifinal. He's doing a great job filling in, replacing Justice Schultz, who graduated back in June. He was a 1,500-point scorer.
Yeah, Holy Deemer 12-2 coming in. Had a tough schedule. They beat a very good St. John Newman team right here, 76-75.
And Hunter hit that game winner.
Yeah, Hunter did hit that game winner. Not from that point, but he did hit a 3. They're back in within 2. Last time these two teams met was just past January, about a year ago. It was Holy Deemer by 11, and we have a foul on Nanticoke.
Yeah, they got Bushinsky with the push-off on Daryl Wright. Wright really turned up the heat there defensively. He was up in Bushinsky's grill just as soon as he crossed the half-court line. Credit right there for that turnover. He frustrated Bushinsky and forced him to turn it over. There's a look at Hunter. Little step back 3, nothing but net.
So right back in, man-to-man for Nanticoke. They're in their blue jerseys with the red trim. Holy Deemer in the white with the red trim. Hunter looking for the step back. Perta has the baseline. Lucy, open 3. No good, John. Great job by Kazerski to save that.
And Lucy can hit that shot if he's left wide open on the perimeter.
Another big rebound. Nanticoke finally pulls it down, but turnover right to Perta. And a foul by Mullery. Ill-advised pass from Nanticoke. Perta right there.
Yeah, if you're Nanticoke, you don't want to be that lax on a defensive rebound. Perta and Wright and Hunter, 3 lightning quick guards. They have the ability to pick off any type of soft pass. Nanticoke got caught napping there with the careless outlet pass off the rebound.
Perta 70% on the year. Did score 18 points against Wyoming area this year. That was his season high so far.
I think another key defensively for Nanticoke here is how they're going to defend ball screens. Kazerski, Lucy like to come out and set, picks on the perimeter on the ball for these quick guards like Hunter, Wright, and Perta. They need to contain those guards and also pick up Kazerski rolling and look out for Lucy popping because he can step out and shoot it.
R.J. Rogan, number 12, in the game for the Trojans, along with Jalen Collins, 5'9", senior, number 2. So a couple subs. Back out from Mullery, off the mark.
Little bit of a force there.
Well, he has 25 threes on the year. Likes to shoot from the outside.
If you're Nanticoke, you want to get Mullery on a roll, but you want to get him quality shots, inside out threes off a dribble penetration, maybe, spit the ball out of the post, but that was a force.
Both teams just trying to catch their breath, settle down a little bit in this big game. Both teams undefeated in division play. First of 2 meetings between the two clubs. Right inside, no foul called. Hunter thought about it. Good defense by Collins to cut him off. Under 2 minutes to play in a very entertaining first quarter. Kazerski pump fake. They're going to let him play tonight. Off using the glass.
His second hoop inside. Great job by Kazerski. He set a ball screen, rolled, got the ball into the post. Quality inside move.
First lead for Holy Redeemer.
See how Nanticoke responds here.
Turek going to call for the offensive foul. I thought maybe a walk, but he's going to call for dipping the shoulder, I think.
Yeah, dipping the shoulder, a little extension of the arm. Great job by Lucy to step in, take the charge.
That's the 5th foul already on Nanticoke in the first quarter. Right from way downtown. 2 guys from Nanticoke had it. They finally save it. Rogan will run the point, but he's stripped from right. Holy Redeemer fans don't like it.
Trojans got to settle down here, get a quality set, quality look.
Jordan Thomas back into the game. He will run the point. Under a minute to play. Turek stripped. They're going to say it stays with the Trojans underneath. Probably a good call.
The thing with Nanticoke is with their bigs, Jordan Thomas and Johnson. They're skilled. They can go out on the perimeter. They can maybe play a little 5-out, which puts Redeemer in a little bit of a predicament because that would force Kozerski to leave the paint area and guard one of these bigs on the perimeter.
Mallory likes to play outside.
Redeemer's half-court defense smothering since we came out of that media timeout. They've really turned up the pressure defensively.
I think they need to get Johnson some touches. Leading scorer. Really, Ellie has one field goal so far.
Nanticoke looking to play here for the last shot of the quarter. I'd expect a high ball screen here with about 10 seconds left on the clock. There it is.
There's a double high screen. Kind of a wild shot by Thomas, but Johnson right there off the glass. And the last shot is no good. Back and forth, a very good first quarter for both teams. It's the Trojans over the Royals after one. Our figure law for scholar athletes tonight, part of a $1,000 scholarship opportunity. Sophia Lukoski from Nanticoke on the left. She's part of the track and field team, 4.0 GPA. And Lauren Whitman out of Holy Redeemer. She's a 4.2 GPA. She's a soccer player, and both girls are very community oriented.
Congratulations to both Sophia and Lauren, getting it done in the classroom as well.
Bob-eyed Billy Jones courtside at Holy Redeemer High School in Wilkes-Barre, Division II Wyoming Valley Conference action. Both teams undefeated in the division. What'd you see in the first quarter? Back and forth they've gone.
Yeah, back and forth. I think Redeemer, the second half of that first quarter, they really turned up the pressure defensively. Paul Guido's, one of his biggest fears came to fruition there, especially late in the quarter with Johnson getting that offensive rebound. They got to be more aware of where Johnson and Jordan Thomas are when a shot goes up, block them out.
I think the longer Nanticoke, because they've lost some tough games like Tamahanoy and to some teams maybe they shouldn't have lost to, the longer they stay in it, the more confidence they get?
Oh, I would think so, absolutely. They'll get one in their sails. They couldn't have scripted a better start, leading by one after, a quarter of play. I think, this game can go down to the wire. They have the ability to hang. Basketball's a game of streaks, though. If Redeemer puts some points up on the board, Nanticoke has to respond.
Another two for Kozerski. He's leading the way. He's 6 of 10 for Holy Redeemer.
Nice soft touch for the big guy.
Playing tough inside, football player. Collins has the lane, blocked away.
Again, the offensive rebounding, a problem for the Royals.
They don't have that big guy that they've had in the past, this Holy Redeemer. So Thomas taking advantage of.
Right now, Nanticoke's best offense is a missed shot. Either Johnson or Jordan Thomas going and getting off the glass and laying it back in.
Redeemer's lost to Williamsport this year on the road.
And that's not the worst loss in the world, going out and playing a 6A school on the road. Holy Redeemer consistently plays a demanding non-conference schedule every year.
Berta can't find a shot. Good defense on him, right? Trying to penetrate, cannot. The lane has not been friendly. Hunter does a nice job, but he's blocked away by Thomas. Or by Johnson as well. So Thomas will bring it up with a 1-point lead.
Now this is a mismatch I think Zach Pienka wants to exploit. I don't know if Lucy can guard Jordan Thomas on the perimeter. I think that's why he's bringing the ball up.
Good offensive board. Free shot for Collins, back of the rim.
That was a good look. Great extra pass. He's got to knock that down.
That he does. So Sabatini back into the game.
Redeemer going with a little bit of a bigger lineup with Sabatini for Lucy. I think that's probably, Paul Guido's answer to the aggressive offensive rebounding by the Trojans.
Sabatini, a 6'4" junior. Back out there. He'll look for his first shot. Wright looking for a screen. Kick out to Perda. Kozerski. Short on that. Here come the Trojans back.
That was a quality possession, though. That dribble penetration set up a high percentage shot for Kozerski. He's just got to knock that down.
Back to Turk in the corner. No good, but Mullery, Noah boxed him out.
Mullery, the three-point shooter, getting after it on the offensive glass.
Yeah, no one on that weak side. Get the rebound and a three-point lead for the Trojans, their biggest of the night.
Great help by Mullery.
Hunter gets a back, can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws, brought to you by Handler, Hennings, and Rosenberg. So
yeah.
The leading scorer going to the line with just 3 points, Billy. And he is a 77% shooter on the year.
Doesn't take long for Hunter, though, to heat up. He hits a couple, and that could get him rolling.
Yeah, he had 23 against Williamsport in that loss, and against Seminary last week he had 24. Hits 1 of 2. We're back to a 2-point lead.
Holy Redeemer has to come up with an answer on the glass for Nanticoke. Right now, Nanticoke's best offense is a missed shot and rebounding and laying it back in.
Kick out again. Turek maybe got a little bit blocked by Wright. The other thing Nanticoke's doing well is transition defense, Billy. They're not letting Holy Redeemer run.
Yeah, and a lot has to do with the quality possessions Nanticoke has. They're not turning the ball over. Obviously, if you turn the ball over, that's really going to ignite the Holy Redeemer fast break. If you have quality possessions, take quality shots, that's sometimes your best transition defense.
Johnson picks up his first foul, so Darrell Wright to the line, shooting just 45% on the year from the charity stripe. It's the first. He also can score in bunches. Against St. John Newman, he had 21. Against Springford in that loss, they had 15.
And these guards, especially Wright and Perda, battle tested. You know, they were 2 starters on that team last year that made it to the state semifinal that lost to the eventual state champ Devon Prep.
At 24-5 Redeemer was last year. Justice Schultz now at Lock Haven University playing basketball and doing track and field.
And Schultz have an exceptional freshman year on the basketball court, averaging just under double figures, getting starter minutes coming off the bench. That was a great find for Lock Haven.
Mullery can't find shot looking in pregame, by the way. We're tied at 13. They're a 3-0 run from Holy Redeemer. In and out for Sabatini, but they get some boards.
Mark Atherton, the son of the Crestwood coach, getting after it on the offensive glass.
So we have a whistle, and we will have our media timeout under 4. 2-point lead for Holy Redeemer here in Wilkes-Barre. Oh, we love our smile cam. Dr. Todd's smile cam in the bleachers tonight. It's a blackout in the Red Sea for the Holy Redeemer Royals student section. They are well represented, as is Nanticoke on the other side. We'll show them in the second half. It's a blackout and a whiteout.
Yes, Nanticoke student section made the trip up the Sansui Parkway. They have a great turnout. Just a great atmosphere here tonight in Wilkes-Barre.
Little 5-0 run by Holy Redeemer. Take a 2-point lead.
We'll see how Nanticoke counters here.
As you said, they're not shooting great, but they're getting the rebounds.
Exactly.
They're trying to get it inside the Johnson. He has an advantage over Kozerski. Working it around. Back to Turek. Little pop and shot. Can't get that to go.
I think a great move by Paul Guido, going with the bigger lineup, going to Sabatini off the bench. Really shut down that offensive rebounding by the Trojans.
This is Sabatini, gets in the lane, back out as you mentioned. Atherton in the game. Hunter to the hole with the left hand is good. He has 6.
Again, basketball game of spurts. Let's see what Nanticoke has here to counter this run by the Royals.
7-0 run, 4-point lead, biggest for the Royals. That's going to be a walk on Johnson, move his pivot foot. So,
yeah, and you can see he ended up shuffling the feet. Joe DiMaggio, not to be confused with the guy who hit 56 straight games in 1941, one of the best officials in District 2, all over that.
back out to Atherton.
And they're setting an abundant amount of ball screens on the perimeter, trying to get Hunter and Purda downhill towards the rim.
Sabatini can't get the rope. He gets his own rebound, and he puts it up and in. So Sabatini comes in, giving him a layman's work duty. 6-point lead. 6-0, 9-0 run here late in the second quarter for the Royals, trying to add on. Hunter all the way down. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's where Redeemer is at their best in transition. Let's look at
Paul Guido upset over something.
a little jogging match, I believe, between Jordan Thomas
And Kazurski.
and Jordan Thomas and Kazurski, and I believe Sabatini was in on it. I don't believe any technical fouls were assessed.
But Paul Guido is fired up.
And he very rarely loses his cool.
I did not see what happened. There was a foul.
It looked like when the play was dead, it looked like Sabatini and Jordan Thomas had some words to say to one another, and then as both teams went back to their benches, Kazurski had some words for the Nanticoke bench.
Well, somebody called a timeout as well, obviously. I don't know if it was Nanticoke or Holy Redeemer. I'll check out that. But it will be Jacob Hunter going to the line.
Now expect these 3 officials right now probably to tighten things up with the whistle, make sure this game doesn't get out of control.
A lot of energy in this building. He makes the first as Hunter with both student sections, nice crowd on hand, and a division lead on the line. Now both teams are in different classes, so they'll head their separate ways in districts. Holy Redeemer 3A, defending champs. Nanticoke was knocked out last year in the 4A in the semifinals by Scranton Prep.
Yeah, Nanticoke, they were 1 win away from reaching the state tournament. They made it to the 3rd place game, lost to Prep. Of course, Prep won that game and then won a first-round playoff game at Middletown. Great look inside there to Johnson to stop the bleeding for Nanticoke. Seemed like Nanticoke was stuck on 13 forever.
They were for a long time at the 3:27 mark, right before that.
And that was a great call by the Nanticoke bench going inside to your all-conference player for an easy hoop.
Purda downtown, that's off the mark. Thomas, the rebound, and a 30-second now timeout. 1:04 left by Zach Pienka.
Yeah,
Nanticoke will face Sem on Saturday.
Looked like they ran a little back screen action to get Jaden Jordan that, Jaden Johnson that easy hoop. There's a look at Nanticoke. They're 10-5 on the year. They also played a very demanding schedule, playing a much bigger school, Abington Heights. 30-point loss, but I bet they got a lot out of it. Then playing West Scranton, another big school, and then going down into the Schuylkill League, playing Mahanoy area.
Yeah, tough loss for there. No disrespect, the loss to Abington is tough. Very good team. West Scranton, maybe they want that one back.
But I think those 3 non-conference games really prepared them for Division II play here in the Wyoming Valley Conference. That'll help them, also going into the district playoffs.
Caleb Baczynski back in the game. He had a long rest. Back out to Johnson in the corner to Turek. See if they get Johnson inside again. He's being double teamed and fronted. Oh, they tried to force it to him, and it goes off his hands with 42 seconds left. Collins back into the game. for the Trojans.
Looks like they're going offense, defense. Collins back in a little bit quicker, a little bit better defender. He's matched up right now in Jacob Hunter.
Yeah, Baczynski has a couple fouls. 8 fouls for Nanticoke overall, 3 for the Royals. And the Royals will hold for the last shot. It looks like they're going to really slow it down. They have a 6-point lead. They trailed at 1 point, 15 to, they were tied at 13. They trailed 1 point, 13-11.
And this is the guy you want with the ball, late period. He can create his own shot on his own, but here comes Sabatini for a high ball screen to get him going downhill.
Hunter has the lane, lays it up, and gets the roll. A chance for Nanticoke, and they're going to get a charge. Charge on Turek, 1.8 left.
That's a third offensive foul taken by Holy Redeemer and the son of the coach, Mark Atherton Jr. stepping in, giving up his body. And there's Atherton beating Turek right to the spot. Offensive foul going the other way.
That's Turek's second, 9th overall. 1 second left. Last right shot is off the mark, but a late run by Holy Redeemer has the Royals out in front in this Wyoming Valley Conference showdown, 23-15. Coming up, special interview from Amanda with Allied Services, and then Billy and I will be back at the table for stats and highlights.
Thanks for sticking with us. It's halftime on MyTV WQMY. Amanda Cool here, joined now by Jeff Snyder from Allied Services. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Jeff, can you tell me about what you do here at Allied and what is your position?
Okay. I'm Jeff Snyder. I'm an Assistant Vice President here at Allied Services, and I oversee our Behavioral Health Division, our Vocational Services, and our Waiver Coordination.
That's a lot all in one. Can you tell me exactly what you do with all three and what each one is?
Okay, our Behavioral Health Division serves individuals with serious mental illness. There's a whole continuum of care when you come out of the state hospital, and we help you through all those stages to make you a more productive member of society. You come out of the state hospital, you go into a CRR, a community residential rehabilitation house. There you get your medications under control. We ensure that you go to your doctor's appointments. We kind of teach you the skills, how to cook again, take you to the grocery store, make sure that you have a job, you keep that job, you go to that job. And then after that, you move on to an enhanced supportive living program, which is like an apartment style house. And there's a little bit less supervision. You're a little more on your own. You're a little better off after you came out of the CRR. You're more responsible. You're ready to take on more things. And then after you graduate from that, you go into the supportive living program. And there you have your own apartment, your own home. So then you only have to have us maybe once a week or once a month just to check in and make sure that everything's going well.
When you talk about us, tell me about the positions that you have in that behavioral health division.
Okay, we have mental health workers, we have residential counselors, program supervisors, and then once you graduate out of that, you would have a supportive living caseworker. So we have all those positions available. We are in 4 different counties. We are in Bradford County, Schuylkill County, Lackawanna County, and Luzerne County.
Awesome. How would somebody go about applying for one of those positions?
Well, you would just go to alliedservices.org and look for the career link, click on that, and then you can apply from there.
Jeff, every week we've talked to an employee from Allied and everybody has said they have loved working here. For you, what is it that is that one thing that is so rewarding for you?
Seeing that we make a difference in people's lives every day.
Awesome. Jeff, thank you so much. We'll be right back with highlights from tonight's game as well as the second half coming up.
A late 10-2 Holy Redeemer run has the Royals out in front of the Trojans, 23-15 here at High School Hoops in Wilkes-Barre. Bob-eyed, courtside with Mr. Billy Jones, former referee, now an assistant coach and freshman coach at Dunmore High School. Billy, glad you could join us tonight here in the
Pleasure to be
Wyoming
here.
Valley. And you said before it might be a high-scoring game, but you also mentioned just a couple seconds ago both teams kind of struggling.
Yeah, I think maybe jitters, big game, 2 undefeated clubs in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division II. There might have been some jitters involved. Nanticoke did not shoot the ball well there. I believe 0 for 4, 0 for 5 from 3. Mullery, who's their best three-point shooter, didn't get in a groove. Their best offense in the first half was the offensive glass, getting it, laying it back in, and Paul Guido, the Holy Redeemer head coach, went to a bigger lineup and kind of cleaned things up on the glass for the Royals.
Jacob Hunter leading the way for Holy Redeemer. He has 10 points overall, 6 for Kozerski, just 2 for Perda and Wright. So pretty much who you thought would score, but you mentioned Hunter getting a groove and getting heated up, and he did late in that second.
Yeah, I think too, Holy Redeemer will turn up the pressure a little bit more defensively, maybe get some more transition hoops. I think the first 3 or 4 minutes of this second half is going to be critical for Nanticoke. They want to get some stops, see the ball go through the hoop, get some confidence. It's only an 8-point game.
Yeah.
They were stuck, though, on 13 forever in that second quarter.
Yeah, almost 4 minutes.
They got to really script some good sets here to run maybe for their first 3 or 4 possessions, get some quality looks, maybe make this a 1 or 2 possession game early in the half.
So let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. And as I said, Nanticoke went back and forth, actually had a 3-point lead at one point. There's Turek.
Yeah.
And then Hunter heated up.
Yeah, Hunter with that step back 3. Averaging 15 a game. You said he has 10 here at halftime, so he's ahead of schedule as far as points. There's Holy Redeemer catching Nanticoke napping on the outlet pass for the easy hoop. There's Jaden Johnson, our spotlight player of the game, taking it to the offensive glass. And Kozerski, nice soft touch for the big guy on the perimeter. Also had a couple buckets in the paint. I believe he had 6 at halftime. And there's Ibn Jordan Thomas getting after on the glass, rebounded his own miss, tucking it back in. Nanticoke with a missed 3. And then Mullery, who's the 3-point shooter, he does not get checked on the defensive end and coasting for an easy offensive rebound. Mark Atherton Jr. gave the Royals a nice spark there. Offensive rebound, of course, he took that charge at the end of the first half. Hunter with a great left hand and finish. And we got an 8-point game here in the Diamond City.
Yeah, we expect both of these teams to head to district play. A couple of favorites. Let's take a look at the 3A District 2 standings. Holy Redeemer out there. Old Forge, Mid-Valley, and Riverside kind of beating each other up in the Lackawanna League. Very tough play. Redeemer, the defending champs.
How about Redeemer? I mean, they graduated a 1,000-point scorer and a 1,500-point scorer, and if the postseason were to start today, they would be the #1 seed in 3A. Don't count out Old Forge and Mid-Valley. Old Forge has a great player in Joey Machaco. Mid-Valley has 2 great players in Danny Nemitz and Ricky Valansky. Should be a pretty contested race in 3A to see who makes it to the final down at the arena.
How about 4A? Maybe a little bit more competitive. Kind of open-ended. Valley View may be the favorite right now, but really 3 or 4 teams right there could win it.
Yeah, Valley View, Prep, Nanticoke. I think they're pretty evenly matched. Valley View kind of took it to Scranton Prep on Tuesday up in Archibald, beat the Cavaliers by 17. They have a great backcourt with Eli Usavage and LV Pagola. Nanticoke, in the thick of things, and we'll see Tunkhannock on Wednesday night. They have a great player in Ben Chilson. I think 3 and 4A will be highly competitive. I think Redeemer, definitely the favorite, but don't expect them to have an easy path to the arena like they have had in years past.
So with the 8-point lead, Royals have the ball in the white jerseys again with the red trim.
Nanticoke changing things up, going zone here to start the half.
Let's see if they can connect. Right downtown, misses that. Both teams have struggled from the outside shooting here tonight in Wilkes-Barre.
Not a bad call by Zach Pienka, with the exception of Hunter. The other guard's pretty quiet, right, in Perda. So maybe give it a zone look here. Not the worst idea in the world.
Same starters on both teams that started the game. This is Jacob Hunter. Thought about a step back 3. Instead, they'll slow it down back out to Darrell Wright, the senior. Front of the rim. Nanticoke wants to slow it down and almost lost the ball in the backcourt. Thomas, Mullery. Oh, using the bank is open for the Trojans.
And sometimes when a shooter struggles, him just seeing the ball going through the net will give them a little boost there confidence-wise. Let's see if this gets Mullery going. Nanticoke sticking with that zone.
Mullery with 5, the lead down to 5.
Look for Redeemer to possibly get the ball here in the short corner to Kozerski.
Lucy turnaround from the top of the key, no good. Kozerski took a hit, goes down, no foul called. Thomas gonna hold it up to Mullery. Caleb Baczynski has 3 fouls. Back on the court, sat a lot of the second half, in the second quarter. Johnson leads Nanticoke with 6.
Redeemer sticking with their man-to-man defense.
That was cut by Turek, no good, but Johnson's there. All kind of white jerseys around him. He can't get it up for the shot, but he's gonna be fouled, I believe, on the floor.
Yeah, crowd wanted to walk there. Jordan Thomas did not pick up the pivot foot. He kept it planted, so no travel.
Hunter with the foul, his first, team's first in the second half. Inside the Baczynski. Forced it over to Thomas.
Guys picking up a lot of floorboards here.
Mullery. 2 in a row from downtown for Liam Mullery, the junior. Is 27 threes on the year.
Nanticoke finding its groove offensively. And they are sticking with that 2-3 zone until Redeemer figures it out.
6-0 run for the Trojans. All 6 from Liam Mullery.
Redeemer here with a 3-out, 2-in look with Lucy and Kozerski working inside.
Feed inside to Kozerski.
Great pass by Lucy. Caught at the high post, turned and face, saw that little crease and found a cutting Kozerski for the easy 2.
Coach Bienka's irate at the official next to him. Trojans within 4. Start of the third quarter. Johnson cut off, but he's a little bit bigger than Kozerski. Can't get it to go.
That's great defense by Kozerski. A, to keep Johnson in front of him, and B, not the foul. He just went straight up, contested his shot.
Jordan Thomas down on the floor, got hit in the head. Take a little breather. Jalen Collins will sub in for him. Jalen's back from an injury, missed 3 weeks of play, and there you see maybe got hit with an elbow or something.
Yeah, little incidental contact. He'll be fine. Probably getting a quick look at by the trainer. He'll check right back in. They need him as far as rebounding goes, both on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
Well, Nanticoke's a tall team. They started all 5 players 6 foot or over. So they do have length for the Trojans. Not so much for the Royals. Inside the Kozerski, just playing tough. Good pump fake from Jeff Kozerski, showing his senior leadership. And we're going to have a foul on Kozerski.
So they scored the basket, and then they got Jeff Kozerski with a little push after the ball went through the net. Great finish in traffic by Kozerski, and then they got him with the little extracurricular there with Baczynski.
I think it was a little bit farther down court than a replay.
I think that's a great call, though, by the officials. You don't want this game to get out of hand. You saw tempers getting a little bit heated there in the first half. Great job by the officials, to reel things in here.
Kozerski has 10 points. That's his first foul. Back to a 6-point lead.
Great help defense by Lucy.
Baczynski can't get that one, way off the mark, but it's taken away by Turek, but he couldn't control it. Bienka now gonna want to throw a little full court press in. 3-2.
Yeah, little 1-2-2, 3-quarter court. They'll look to maybe trap the sidelines.
And probably an ill-advised quick shot from the Royals.
A bad shot on the back end of the press is just as good as a turnover.
Turek blocked by Hunter. Both teams on the floor. They'll let him play a little bit. Right, Hunter, wide open 3. Got it, Jacob Hunter from downtown.
And Darryl Wright set that up with dribble penetration. Great find in transition by number 2 in white.
He has 13, It's back to a 9-point lead, and we're going to have a foul.
Moving screen on
Moving
Turek.
screen, and we'll take a timeout. 3:32 left. 9-point lead for the Royals of Holy Redeemer on their home floor. Back at Holy Redeemer High School, a 6-0 run by Nanticoke to begin the third, countered by a 7-0 run now by Holy Redeemer. Back to a 9-point lead for the Royals, Billy Jones.
Yeah, basketball game of spurts. Seesawing back and forth. 9-point lead here for the Royals. We'll see if Nanticoke sticks with that zone, which kind of gave Holy Redeemer fits to start the second half. Also see, too, what Coach Zach Pienka scripted maybe for their first 2 possessions here out of the media timeout.
Jacob Hunter has 13, leading the way for Holy Redeemer so far.
Nanticoke out of the zone. They're back man-to-man.
Hunter looking for a screen. Foul at the top of the key. Gonna go against Turek on the reach.
Yeah, a little reach there. Like I said earlier, I think we saw some chippiness take place, going back and forth, some jawing. Officials really want to keep this game under control. I think they're going to have a little bit of a tight whistle here the rest of the way. That's good officiating. You don't want the game to get out of hand.
Scoreboard has Turek with 4 fouls. Inside of Kozerski, and it's going to be knocked away. Now frustration setting in for Nanticoke. They're going to be called with a foul. That's going to be Johnson.
And Kozerski, who's really given them a spark scoring-wise on the interior, heading to the free throw line.
Kozerski to the line. First 3 throws on the night.
Now Matt Perochak, who was kind of an inside-outside big who graduated last year, 1,000-point scorer. You would think maybe, there'd be a massive void inside as far as scoring goes, but Kozerski really giving them an offensive spark here tonight.
And gets the home roll. He has 11, second leading scorer.
And notice Wright picking up 3/4 court on Basinski, really giving him fits here defensively.
Largest lead of the night for Holy Redeemer, 10. A lot of room for Pajinski to take it to the left side. His first 2. Trojans looking to make a little run themselves now. Going to start here on the defensive side, though.
Yeah, little 5 out here, little dribble drive. Kozerski and Lucy on the perimeter. This could be tough to guard here for Nanticoke.
Zach Perda, just 3 points for him.
Great extra pass.
In the right from the corner, count it. Downtown, Daryl Wright, his 22nd 3 on the year.
Great unselfish basketball by Zach Perda, making the extra pass. He gave up an okay shot for a much better shot.
5 for Wright, largest lead. Forced it over, right into the hands of Johnson, luckily for Nanticoke. No room on the inside at all for Johnson. Finally gets it, but he's surrounded by 3 white jerseys.
They've really kept him in check.
Outlet, right to Hunter. Kozerski there with the board. And he's going to be fouled. This is Johnson. It's his 3rd. It is.
Kozerski, the reputation of being a blue-collar guy, but really giving them a spark here offensively. Running the floor hard for a 6'4" guy and gets rewarded with 2 free throws.
So with 1:35 left in the 3rd, Coach Pienka wants to get a word in with his Trojan team. Down 11 now. Looked so good in the first couple minutes for Nanticoke here in the 3rd, Billy. But then Holy Redeemer kind of just willed it to an 11-point lead.
Yeah, and their guards, getting into the lane, making the extra pass. They knocked down a couple threes. Kozerski's really been a surprise for me. I saw him early in the year on video against Williamsport. Kind of like they didn't really get much scoring out of him, more of a blue-collar guy, but I'll tell you what, he's given them an offensive spark here. I mean, that could be the difference for Holy Redeemer maybe winning a division championship and also maybe getting back to the arena and winning another district title. If they can get this kind of scoring out of Kozerski, they're going to be really tough to beat in the postseason.
Here's what Holy Redeemer has done this year. Let's take a look at their schedule up to now. It's been a tough schedule. They beat Scranton. They lost to Springford. They lost to Williamsport. But since then, and a big win here, we're a very good St. John Newman team. They play the schedule that you need to be successful in the playoffs.
Exactly. Scranton 6A school, much better than Redeemer. Williamsport 6A. St. John Newman, a smaller school, but they made it to the state final last year. Paul Guido, he'll go out of District 2 to play anybody. He has his club battle tested every year going into the district playoffs and the state playoff.
Kozerski back to the line, 1 for 2 on the night. Makes that, he's 60% on the season, and the Manuka Subaru free throw is good.
Danger zone here for Nanticoke. They really have to string together some quality possessions coming back. My goal, if I'm Zach Pienka, get this thing under 10 going into the fourth quarter. It's a 13-point game now.
7 points in the third for Jeff Kozerski. Inside to Johnson, he's going to be fouled before the shot.
And the officials tighten things up. It's a tight whistle on both ends, which if you're a coach, you're fine with that consistency. They got right there with the reach as Jaden Johnson looked to post deep.
His third foul. Back out for the Trojans. They'll bring it back into the backcourt and start again. Down 13 now. Leading scorer Johnson only has 6, has not scored in the third.
Hey, Holy Redeemer switching it up here, going 2-3 zone. They had Nanticoke a little bit confused there.
Jacob Hunter over to Perta. Perta in the lane and gets the home roll. Nanticoke has been stuck on this 23 as they were with 13 in the first half.
Yeah, and the spark they got in the first half was on the offensive glass. I don't know if Nanticoke has gotten an offensive rebound here in the third period. Credit Holy Redeemer, they really tightened things up on the glass.
Into Johnson, that's what they need to do.
They got to get Johnson more involved in the fourth quarter. If they're not getting a transition hoop, run some sets, maybe start them up high, back screen, get them open on the block for a quality touch or two.
No three-pointers tonight for the Trojans. They did come in with 50 on the year. And will foul on the floor with 12 seconds remaining. On Nanticoke.
Yeah, Rogan intentionally there gave up the foul so that Redeemer couldn't get to the rim here late in the quarter.
Nanticoke's fifth, second on Rogan. As I said, 12 now and counting.
Here's the double high ball screen.
Hunter grabbed.
And that's an intentional foul. It's a great call by the official. The ball clearly was not played there. Jacob Hunter's jersey came out of his shorts.
That's Collins' third. Coach Guido likes it. Yep,
and you can see Collins definitely not making a play on the ball. Grabbed a lot of shirt, and by the rule book, that is an intentional foul.
So Jacob Hunter goes to the line. 3 of 4 on the night from the Manuka Subaru charity stripe, makes that easily. And now Redeemer's just kind of pulling away now.
Yeah.
Frustration setting in for Nanticoke. You can kind of see it in the players' faces.
But you still got a full period of basketball left. 15-point game. However, if you string together some stops, if you're Nanticoke to start the fourth quarter, get some quality possessions, you can get it under 10 pretty quick.
So 15 for Hunter. 13 for Kozerski, leading the way, and we'll have a jump ball, and we'll go over to the Trojans with 4 seconds left.
Kozerski's really been the X factor here in this game. You kind of knew what you were going to get out of Hunter. I didn't expect Kozerski to be this much of a force offensively.
Kuczynski going to take it in, the lefty. Shot at the buzzer, off the mark. Oh, if that went in, the student section would have exploded instead. A 15-point lead for the Royals, trying to take the lead in the Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. Well, it's a whiteout on the other side for the Trojans fans trying to get their Nanticoke team back in this one with the Dr. Todd Smile Cam. Billy Jones.
Great show of support by the Nanticoke student body, making the short trip up the Sansui Parkway here to Holy Redeemer High School, looking to spark their Trojans here in the fourth quarter. 15-point game. Nanticoke's got to string together some stops, get some quality possessions. There's no 15-point shot. They need to string together quality possessions, but it's a key to get stops right now. You can't trade baskets with Redeemer at this point in the game.
Royals 17-4 run. Make that 19-4 run since Nanticoke made those 2 threes by Mullery to begin the third quarter.
Wow. And then Kazerski coming out the fourth quarter, picking up where he left off in the third, giving them an offensive spark. Caught the Redeemer defense there napping. Jordan Thomas with the N1 on the back end of the play. Lucy there with the bump. Chance for the conventional 3-point play. Possibly cut this down to a 14-point game.
14-point game, yep. Thomas to the line, 38%. 1 for 2 on the night and converts the 3-point play. Let's see if this kind of sparks Nanticoke.
And the Trojans picking up full court. Zach Pienka rolling the dice here.
Johnson with a little brush. Here come the Trojans back. They have numbers if they want. Muller is going to stop, pop for the 3. No good. And it will be Nanticoke ball off the Royals.
Redeemer got away with one there, leaving a quality shooter like Mullery wide open there in transition. Nanticoke showing full court pressure there off that made free throw. If you're Zach Pienka, you got to roll the dice here. Try something different. Maybe get some easy baskets off of turnovers here to cut into this deficit.
George Sabatini back in the game, number 4. He gave them great minutes in the, really towards the end of that first half.
And he was the guy who kind of came in and cleared up the rebounding issues for Redeemer.
Well, Mullery has 3 threes in this second half. There's another one. He is 9 in the half. And a foul. Who will it be on? Back to an 11-point game. Little run here.
Little screen there on the perimeter, getting Mullery, and that's a quality 3 too. He caught it in rhythm. Now we got an 11-point game.
So the foul's on Johnson, his 3rd. Perta to the line, the senior guard, shooting 2. Perta 70% on the year from the line. 2 for 3 on the evening. And the Manuka Subaru free throw is up and good.
Again, still plenty of time, but you got to put together quality possessions, get quality shots, play for your best players here if you're Nanticoke, and that would be Johnson and Mullery.
Gonna have a foul on the floor on, I think it's on Sabatini.
I believe maybe Kazerski.
Maybe. It was definitely underneath.
Yeah, Kazerski.
Yeah, Kazerski, yep. 5 team fouls. The Royals leave Johnson open right underneath the basket.
Great interior look. A lot of times your out of bounds underplays are the equivalent to special teams plays in football. If you can get an easy basket or something like that, that could be the difference in a 1 or 2 possession game late.
Well, they let Perta go right in. Just his 2nd field goal on the night.
The negative is if you're Nanticoke and you're pressing and you're extending your defense, you're getting your guards out in transition here like Perta. You can get them going downhill, which is a little bit of high risk, high reward.
Atherton into the game, giving Perta a bit of a break.
Great help by Atherton.
Thomas underneath, off the left side. He finds some room.
Again, Nanticoke extending that full court pressure.
If it's on Baczynski, he couldn't foul out, but is it on Turek?
Yeah, I believe they got it on Turek.
They did get it on Turek. I think he fouled out. Did they? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
his
that's 5 for Turek. Yep. Collins back into the game.
And that sends Hunter to the line for 1-on-1.
1-1 for Hunter. 5 of 6 from the Manuka Subaru free throw line tonight. Gets the roll there. These two teams will meet last game of the season on the 9th of February down at Nanticoke High School.
And they potentially could meet a third time in the Wyoming Valley Conference Tournament. The Wyoming Valley Conference Tournament, usually the Division I champion will play the runner-up from Division II and vice versa in the semis, and then the two winners meet in the final.
I thought you were going to say they could play for the division championship, because if they both win out and then Nanticoke wins, again, they'll have to play another game
tiebreaker.
For the tiebreaker.
Potentially they could play 4 times.
Yeah.
And speaking of Division I, Bob will be up in Tunkhannock on Wednesday night as the Tigers host the Hazleton area Cougars.
Yeah, Tunkhannock was one of those teams you just don't know where you're going to get. I was at Valley West. They lost to them. Valley West was 2-11 at the time. They didn't play well, but then they come back and they have a big win at home. Does Tunkhannock.
And they're a much tougher team at home, and they have an exceptional player in Ben Chilson.
Right, Sabatini. Give and go is good.
And again, you're rolling the dice if you're Nanticoke pressing, because you can give up easy hoops on the back end, but you want to get those turnovers and cut into this deficit. 14-point game with 5 minutes to go. You got to do something.
Great rebound by Sabatini. Foul on Nanticoke will send the Royals to the line and Sabatini. And who was the foul on? It's on Baczynski, his 4th. Timeout Trojans, 5:13 left in the 4th. Here's what Nanticoke has on tap in Division II the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Seminary, MMI, Hanover, Lake Lehman, Wyoming area, all winnable games. And we just mentioned the Holy Redeemer game at home.
And then they get the rematch with Redeemer at home to end the regular season. And then, like we said, never know, they could beat in a tiebreaker for the division and then possibly in the Wyoming Valley Conference Tournament.
Do you like the Wyoming? Do you like a tournament like that?
You know what? I think it gives it a little bit of buzz. The Schuylkill League does it very well. They have, their tournament down in Martz Hall. I think it gives people something to talk about, and especially, too, where you have, like, the Division I champion playing the Division II runner-up, and then the Division II champion playing you have big school versus small school, kind of like bragging rights, and they do it well. They give the kids shirts for, for the championship teams. Holy Redeemer has their banner from last year hanging up here in the gym. If you do it right, I think it creates a buzz and creates excitement. And I think the Wyoming Valley Conference over the past couple of years, they've done it right, and they got people talking about it, and, gives us people in the media,
Yeah, something else to cover.
Exactly.
Sabatini missed that one. George did have 17 against Williamsport this year, so he can make it. Missed that free throw on the 1-1. So an opportunity now for the Trojans to cut into the 14-point lead.
And they can't trade baskets with Redeemer. They got to get stops, and turnover is not going to help matters.
Well, that's going to go against Perda.
Yeah.
On the charge, not enough. He fell right into Baczynski on the pass.
Yeah, Baczynski stepping in, giving up his body. That was a run out. Redeemer had an easy basket the other way. Great job by Baczynski stepping in, taking the charge. And I was saying, Nanticoke cannot trade baskets with Redeemer. They got to get stops, come back down the other end, get quality possessions.
That was the 7th foul. Johnson is the hoop and the harm underneath.
Great job by the Nanticoke bench going inside to Jaden Johnson, our spotlight player. There he is going to work downtown. Got the little bump there by Kazierski, going to the line for the three-point play. And I believe Nanticoke, if they convert this free throw, will once again extend its defense and pick up full court.
Now there is 4:39 left in the game, not like a minute or so.
No,
feels
plenty
like
of time.
Plenty of time.
Exactly, and with the three-point shot, it makes it even more doable.
So the foul against, they have it listed as Kazierski, but I don't know where, that was Perda, wasn't it, on over there? It's the 8th team foul, and Johnson completes the 3-point play. So it's back to an 11-point lead. Should say down to an 11-point lead. Nanticoke remains in the man-to-man. Into Kozerski. Right back out to Atherton. Perda, no good. Knocked out and goes over to the Trojans. So the Royals not trying to waste any time, taking some quick shots, Billy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Holy Redeemer, I don't think you want to take your foot off the gas just yet. Plenty of basketball to be played. You don't want to take the air out of the ball. You know, that was a decent shot from 3. Atherton made the extra pass off the offensive rebound. Not the worst look in the world.
Well, that's huge.
Got an 8-point game.
8-point game, as Billy just said. Mullery is heating up from downtown in the second half. Quick timeout called by the Trojans. That's a full timeout with 4:09 remaining.
Yeah, Mullery, 2 guys closing out on him. Still drains the 3. Zach Pianka calling timeout. Let's see if they once again extend their defense. Maybe mix it up, show that zone again that kind of gave Holy Redeemer fits to start the 3rd period. I think they're going to show a little different look here defensively, at least maybe 1 trip down.
The 16-point lead is down to 8 with just over 4 left. Here's our schedule coming up. Billy mentioned next week we'll be up at Tunkhannock. Next Monday, or excuse me, the 30th of Monday, we bring you the annual Pink game. That's girls basketball, Abington and North Pocono. And then Friday, February 10th, I believe, at 7:30, we'll be at Holy Cross at your Dunmore Buck team. And saw Holy Cross and Dunmore play the other night. Holy Cross won a big one against the Bucks in the Borough.
Yeah, convincing win for the Crusaders in the Battle of the Borough. Rematch in Bucktown on West Warren Street on February 12th. We'll see how that goes. Rivalry game, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. On Saturday, the crew will be at Bucknell as we have Holy Cross and Bucknell at 2 o'clock on Saturday, Patriot League men's basketball. So down to 8. One more, at least another media timeout coming.
Yeah. Nanticoke retreating, not picking up full court. However, they're going back to the zone here, 2-3.
No, I think they're going to go back to the man-to-man. Started out in the zone.
Oh, yeah. Zone look, but now they've matched up.
Holy Redeemer wants to take a little bit of clock off. Perda, baseline. Kozerski. Perda in the lane. Got it stripped away, and we're going to have a foul and a timeout. 3:47 left, 49-41. We're going to shoot free throws as we head to the break. 3:47 left in this Division II conference game. Red Sea can feel it. Their team up by 8, 3:47 left. Making some noise on the other side. We have the Nanticoke student section as well. But a big little run now by Nanticoke has cut the lead to 8. They'll go to the free throw line to cut that even further down.
And in this run, Bob, Nanticoke has gone inside to Johnson for a few hoops. Mullery hit a 3. So they're playing through their top interior player and their top perimeter player. Plenty of time here, 8-point deficit, anything can happen. Jordan Thomas has a chance to cut this to 6.
So Thomas to the line. He has 10 points and he can't make it. Again, Nanticoke not a very good free throw shooting team, but they can rebound the ball, Billy, and they get another possession.
Redeemer got caught napping on the free throw block out there.
Mullery heating up from 3. Let's see if they get him the ball.
Johnson's wide open inside. He's got to touch it here.
Mullery has 14, and Johnson can't get it to go. We're going to foul on Thomas. So that should be free throws for Sabatini now.
And that was great help by Sabatini coming over the opposite side of the lane right there to affect the shot by Johnson. Gets the rebound, and then Jordan Thomas comes in with a little chippy.
Now Sabatini went to the line last time and didn't make it. So let's see what he can do. 75% on the year. Both teams in the bonus. Double bonus here for Sabatini. Makes a critical first one. Rogan back in for Nanticoke, the sophomore.
And you don't want to panic. If Sabatini makes this a 10-point game, which he doesn't, 9-point game, you don't need to throw up crazy shots, okay? Get a good quality possession. You have plenty of time.
Mullery's the hot hand. 4 3-pointers in this quarter, and half, I should say. Into Johnson, underneath. Surrounded, what a great basket by Johnson.
Terrific finish. He was really caught in no man's land there and somehow found a way to get the ball in the bucket.
Single-digit lead. It was up at 16 at one point for Holy Redeemer. Back down to 7. Here's Wright with 5 points.
And Hunter, Wright, and Perda, all 3 guards strong with the ball. You want those 3 to have the ball with a lead late. Play through them. They're not going to make many mistakes.
So a second Nanticoke Trojan is fouled out. This is Baczynski, the senior. He has 5. Collins in for him. And Perda to the line, shooting the double bonus. Perda 3 for 4 on the night from the Minooka Subaru free throw line. Holy Redeemer headed to Hanover area on Saturday. Two big ones from the senior. Do the Trojans need to score fast or just get a good shot?
I think get a good shot. You still have time. It doesn't necessarily need a 3. It could be a post touch for Jaden Johnson.
So it will be Nanticoke ball right in front of us. Back to Collins. Thomas bump, no foul.
Yeah, Sabatini got away with one there.
Yeah. Collins in the corner.
They got to look inside to Johnson. He's got Kazierski right on his back.
Yeah, right behind him, though. They're fronting and backing Johnson. Good defense in the Royals. Time ticking. Muller going to force it and can't get the three-pointer to go.
Great defense by Redeemer there.
Well, tough defense are starting to foul. You're down 9.
I think Redeemer is going to take some time off the clock here, be a little bit more methodical. If they burn a little bit more, as this gets down to maybe 90 seconds, Nanticoke might look to foul.
Nanticoke had that big run in the third, 17-4. To take this big lead. Perda, no good. Here comes the Trojans.
They still got life, Bob.
Charge call. Hunter held his ground. Thomas can't believe it. Thought he got by him. He did not. Your call, Billy, your old referee.
And there's Hunter backpedaling. Oh.
Leaned a little bit.
And Jordan Thomas swung the arm through and got Hunter in the face. That was probably the determining factor there as far as player control.
R.J. Rogan, 90 feet from the basket with a foul. That's going to send Darrell Wright to the line.
Yeah, that one could have gone either way, but Jordan Thomas kind of swung his arm through there and made contact to the head with Hunter, and I think that was the determining factor as far as it being a player control foul versus a block.
So Jacob Hunter is 15. Jeff Kazierski is 15. They will be our players of the game if Holy Redeemer pulls this one out and improves to 13-2 on the year. Lucy back in for Sabatini, who gave them great minutes tonight.
Yes, and he really helped with the rebounding woes early for Holy Redeemer.
Timeout on the floor. Holy Redeemer. 1:28 left, 53-43 is the score.
Paul Guido probably talking about what they want to do here defensively. Don't be surprised maybe if they go with a little zone look here, force Nanticoke to take more time off the clock to get a shot.
So we're into second half play in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. So second meeting for Holy Redeemer against most of these schools, all of these schools, and they pulled out wins so far of every one, and right now they're leading Nanticoke by 10.
Yeah, Holy Redeemer kind of rolled through the first half of Division II play. This game here tonight, Nanticoke probably their toughest test. You know, games aren't won on paper, Bob. So,
Nope.
you know, and Redeemer has to go to tough places like Lake Lehman, Hanover area. You know, any team can beat anybody on any given night. I'm sure Paul Guido will have them prepared every single night and not having them looking too far ahead to the rematch with Nanticoke on February 9th.
Well, the eye on the prize, I'm sure, for the Royals is getting back to where they were last year in state. So that starts with the conference, division, and then districts.
Yes, and unless if something goes horribly wrong, I think they'll be the 1 seed going into the 3A playoffs. You know, but this year I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. You know, Old Forge had a deep run last year in states. Mid-Valley.
2A, though.
Exactly,
Yeah.
in 2A. But they have a very good player, Joey Machaco. And Mid-Valley, who would be the 3rd seed, has 2 very good players in Vanansky and Nimitz.
Collins back. Got to look for a shot, and they forced it into Johnson. Somehow Thomas picked it up. Corner pocket for Rogan.
Down to 7. They foul quick, and Redeemer doesn't convert. This could get interesting. They got to get up and foul, Nanticoke. No real sense of urgency here. I think they got to give one. We're under a minute here.
Well, Darryl Wright will be the guy to foul. He's 45% on the year.
Nanticoke letting a lot of time go by.
Under a minute to play here in Wilkes-Barre.
And they're playing keep away with Hunter, Wright, and Purda, the 3 guys you want to have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to foul Hunter and send him to the line. 15 on the night. Been pretty solid from the Manuka Subaru free throw line. Wasted a lot of time, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Nanticoke bench was very adamant. They wanted that. They wanted them to give a foul much earlier in that Holy Redeemer possession.
So Jacob Hunter to the line. Leading scorer on this team. He was the 6th man last year. So to come off the bench and lead the team, pretty impressive for Jacob Hunter.
But think about it, every single day in practice last year, who was he probably going up against?
Justice
Schultz. That's probably the best education Jacob Hunter got in basketball, is guarding Justice Schultz for a few years in practice every single day.
And that's what Paul Guido talked about last week when I spoke to him right here. Under 25 to play. Rogan again, no good on the threes. Thomas had it, knocked away. And in fact, we're going to have a whistle and a foul on Holy Redeemer. And it's going to be on Hunter, I believe, his 2nd. And Thomas will go to the line to shoot 2.
This is the last thing you want if you're Holy Redeemer, giving Nanticoke a chance to put points on the board with the clock stopped.
Again, Nanticoke struggles at the free throw line. You mentioned as a team, just 58% on the year. Can't make those, but, you know, they've done that all night long. Timeout Nanticoke. Johnson gets the rebound, lays it up and in. And 17 seconds left. You're down 7. You got to foul quick now. That it has to be the Jim Valvano rule.
It has to be an immediate foul. You really don't even have time to, you know, maybe trap the first inbound pass. It's got to be an immediate foul. And of course, you know, Holy Redeemer, they've been in tight games over the years, whether it be district playoffs, especially state playoffs. They're going to play through their big 3, their guards, Hunter, Wright, and Purda. You know, if I'm Paul Guido, my trust factor is high with any 3 of those individuals with the basketball late game with a lead. Would you agree with me, Bob Kozerski, the X factor tonight for the Royals?
Yeah, came in just averaging 5.7 points per game. He puts up 15. A lot of that underneath.
Yeah.
Kind of neutralized Johnson in there. Yeah, I would agree.
And if Holy Redeemer can get that kind of consistent scoring from Kozerski, this team might go to another level. He's kind of like that old school post player. Doesn't mind contact, likes to mix it up, embraces physicality.
And I know there's 20 fouls on the floor, but they let them play a little bit underneath. They really did.
They did,
because Kozerski wants to use that. They're going to foul quickly. This will be Lucy to the line.
And Kozerski almost had an opportunity there to pad his scoring stats. He was wide open on the back end of that press breaker.
So Lewis Lucy, senior, 60% on the year. Had 17 against MMI this year.
If he's open and he's hot, he can knock down shots.
So he'll shoot 2 with a double bonus. And
think about it, though. You could stick me out there with these quick guards with Purder, Wright, and Hunter, and they draw so much attention with dribble penetration that I would even be wide open. But Lucy's a lot better of a shooter than me.
I was going to say, would you make the shot, though? That's 9-point lead. This one pretty much going to go into the books. Nanticoke's going to drop to 10-6 as Muller is going to pad his 3-point stats. He had 5 in the second half, but it wasn't enough. Holler-Deemer takes the lead in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division II. They go to 5-0 on the year in conference play. Nanticoke drops to 5-1 in conference play, and they'll meet again February 9th. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll have our players of the game on the other side. Well, they take control of Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. Holler-Deemer with a 6-point win over Nanticoke. Jeff Kozerski and Jacob Hunter are players of the game. We'll start with Jeff. We mentioned a season high tonight, 15. You were really inside. What was your focus tonight playing inside against the Trojans?
Well, I mean, we knew it was going to be a physical game. You know, anytime it's a physical game, everyone has to step up. You know, just doing my part naturally, you know, getting boards. And then with the help of my teammates, you know, they put me in a position to score.
It just adds another dimension to this team because we know about Daryl and we know about Jacob and Zach as well. But now if you can score, that really ups your game as a team.
Right, you know, it spaces out the floor, you know, something to look forward to in future games. And, you know, I think everything's clicking for us at the right time. Couldn't be happier right now.
Let's bring in this guy, Jacob, sixth man last year, leading scorer this year. You put up 17 tonight. Talk to me about that spurt you guys had in the third quarter, 17-4 run.
Going into halftime, Gatto knew that if we pick it up, this year we've been a second half team for most of the year. But we saw that in the first half, we came out a little cold, but we knew if we came out and played us in the third quarter, they can't beat us. So.
We talked about when I saw you guys at practice how you lost 2 key scorers from last year, but you have 13 wins, just 2 losses. How much did that help last year, playing against them and getting that experience in the playoffs?
That experience, I wouldn't be our leading scorer this year if it wasn't for that. Going on that run, I learned so many things from the games and coaches. There's no better experience.
How much confidence is this team getting?
A lot of confidence. We haven't lost in about a month. Every win, the confidence level rises. So.
And finally, I think I know this question, the answer to this question, the goals, conference, districts, and back in the States?
Of course, yeah, deep in the States just like last year.
Okay, congratulations. Holler-Deemer with a big win tonight. Jacob Hunter, Jeff Kozerski are players of the game. We're going to bring Billy in to wrap things up here, and really that big run, I think it was 17 or 19-4 in the third quarter, made the difference.
It did make the difference. Nanticoke's fourth quarter, they made it a little bit interesting. Listen, hey, they were down 13. They could have mailed it in. They didn't. I think that little run maybe Nanticoke had late in the game to make it interesting will give them a little bit of confidence going into the rematch February 9th down to Nanticoke.
What can the Trojans take out of this game?
I think physically they matched up fine with Holy Redeemer. They didn't really allow Redeemer's guards to really get into a rhythm. You know, a lot of times they shoot the ball well, they make threes and flurries. We didn't really, at a high rate, we didn't really see that tonight. The X factor, as we mentioned, was Kozerski. I think in the rematch, you know, they got to find him and be more physical with him. Don't let him get established down low.
Could have been a blowout, but give Nanticoke a lot of credit. They did come back. They made it a close game, but unfortunately, they're going to fall to 10-6 on the year. Holler-Deemer is going to improve to 13-2. Should be a great match down the line. And both of these teams, again, have district aspirations, and they both can make a run in districts.
Yeah, Holy Redeemer in 3A, they're the front runner. They're the 1 seed right now as we spoke. Nanticoke in 4A, they're the 3 seed. Probably 4A a little bit more parity. You know, Nanticoke fully capable of competing with Scranton Prep and Valley View in 4A.
Okay, great job by our crew tonight. Great high school basketball game here in Holy Redeemer. Our crew will turn things around. Saturday, we'll head to Lewisburg as we check in with Bucknell men's basketball as they take on Holy Cross. We'll be live right here on MyTV WQNY at 2 p.m. Then next Wednesday, Billy and I will be back in the seats. We're up in Tunkhannock. We're going to make the drive to the Endless Mountains, Billy, to see Hazelton take on Tunkhannock. That's a Division I play. Hey, both teams playing well, and both teams, they also want to get into districts on a roll.
Yeah, Yeah, Tunkhannock has a great player, Ben Chilson. They're always tough at home. Of course, Hazelton area, Coach Barletta, they are always athletic. They're always physical. Should be a great one up in T-Town.
Let's hopefully the snow will hold off, right, as well. So great job by our crew. So we're going to wrap things up here at Hurley-Deemer in Wilkes-Barre. Hurley-Deemer, the Royals with a big win over the Trojans. For the entire Fox 56 Sports crew, for Billy Jones, this is Bob Ide saying so long from the Red Sea.
Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.